Hey there friends, we are over at the Ritz Carlton Orlando Great Lakes. If you are looking for a luxurious home away from home that is only 15 minutes from Universal and 20 minutes from that beautiful Disney park bubble, come along with us. We are going to go ahead and take you on this luxurious tour. Let's go. Hidden in the heart of Orlando, the Great Lakes Orlando sits on 500 acres, features 582 rooms, as well as over 40,000 square feet in just the spa alone, as well as a championship golf course, farm-to-table dining, family activities, and exquisite pools. As soon as we checked in, we were greeted with this adorable little Ritz water, and we were taken up right to our room. All right. We're in room 919. Look at that, you even have a privacy bell if you don't want to be disturbed or if you want service. How cool is that? All right, here we go. Whoa, it's a hallway. Can't even see the room. Whoa. Holy moly. Holy moly. Look at that, we got a full bar. A huge TV. Look at this little sitting area and this desk with a whole wraparound. What is in here?
Coffee service.
Oh, the coffee. Moving around, you have a nice chair right over there, a nice little seating area. So there's an option of having either a king or two queens. We are here bright and early in the morning, and this was the first available, so we chose to do that. However, with that being said, they did upgrade our view to a lake view, and we got a corner room. Oh, that is beautiful. Oh, look, you can see the Ferris wheel over here. So a beautiful balcony. Got two nice comfy chairs over here. You can see the golf course over from here. This is stunning. So I'm gonna just take a guess, but if I'm zooming in over here, you can see SeaWorld. Pretty sure that's SeaWorld's roller coaster over there. Not sure if that's coming through on the video. And look, oh my God. You can see Helios. You can see Helios, and look, those are the Star Racers, the Stardust Racers. You see them? Oh my God, I see Epic. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. Here we go with a little bit more light going on. Now let's take a look over. Oh my gosh, look how old school and amazing this radio is. That's so cool. With all the amazing Ritz touches, of course. You have your pen and paper, all classy. You have your chocolates. Not only do you have a bottle of water, but you even have a glass waiting for you. How nice is that? I also really like this whole backdrop they have going on. That's really nice. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we have going on here. Look at this bathroom. Holy moly. So you have a whole separate tub. Look at all the marbling. You have robes that they've given you. That's super fancy. And then if you wanted to take a shower, you have your own separate shower over here, which is really big. And then looking over here, there's your separate toilet. Again, that marbling kind of comes all the way down, all over this just beautiful white marble all throughout the entire bathroom. You have a his and her sink over here. Looking in, you have a shaving kit, dental kit, vanity set, shower cap. I mean, they have thought of everything. Got your hair dryer under there. This is just incredible. All right, well, here's our corner room of 919 over at the Ritz Carlton Grande Lakes. So cool little thing here again. All right, Bob, go ahead. So you can actually just hit the privacy button from outside, and then it lets everyone know you want your privacy. All right, we made it back down to the lobby, but first things first, it's bright and early. We got here really early. We need to go get some coffee. So as part of being Marriott Bonvoy members, we were actually given 2 coupons to be able to get a free pastry and drip coffee over at the First Drop, which is their little pastry shop and coffee shop inside. So I just got a standard iced coffee with a splash of milk in there. Bob ended up getting a cappuccino. So again, that's over at First Drop. And then for food, I decided to get the glazed donut because that just looked absolutely fantastic. But they had croissants, bagels, donuts, and muffins. So Bob actually ended up getting the blueberry muffin. So we're gonna go ahead and enjoy that. You can pan around. We are sitting at the pool right now, just a perfect way to start the day. But again, if you are a Marriott Bonvoy member, make sure to check in and let them know if it wasn't connected already, because you can get some free stuff upon check-in. While enjoying our breakfast, we just took in the sight of this absolutely gorgeous pool area. This was a one-of-a-kind, world-class heated pool with multiple entry points and honestly gave so much privacy. And while there is absolutely plenty of comfortable seating, you can actually reserve a private pool cabana should you want for the day. But depending on which level and tier that you pick, that can cost you upwards of $500. There's also flavored water sporadically placed throughout the pool to make sure that on those hot summer days you stay nice and hydrated. And honestly, overall, the scenery and the scenic environment is so serene and welcoming. Guys, check this hot tub out. I have never seen something so unique. This is so cool. So there's like a little edge to sit on circumferentially. Then it kind of just goes down deeper into there. That is cool. And then you can either overlook the golf course that's right over there, or from there you can actually turn around and look into the pool and up to the hotel itself. So we just checked out the pool area really quickly here at the Ritz. Now what's really exciting about this specific property is that it's actually connected to a JW Marriott. So you can either walk along the lake right here, which is what we chose to do because it's such a gorgeous day, but you can also connect, I think you can actually just go right through the hotel and then get a little quicker connection inside there, but we haven't checked that out yet. So, fun fact, if you are staying at the Ritz, you have access to the JW Marriott property over here and all of their amenities, including, it sounds like they have a few water slides and a lazy river, and that's what I'm very excited to go check out. But it's not the other way around, so the JW does not have access to the Ritz. So it's just kind of an extra fun little perk to be able to stay here and that you actually have access to 2 properties while you're here. So let's go check that out. Ooh, what is that?
That'd be part of a spa. Or, no, the spa's here somewhere.
Spas around here?
There's communities and stuff.
Hold on, stop it right now. I got sidetracked here because I found a hammock. I'm gonna go embarrass myself here and see, but this is really, really cool. All right, I'm trying to do this. This is so small. It's gonna be in. Okay. This is nice. Look at that view either way. That's such a nice view. This is cool. Another thing right behind me over here, you can start to see the golf course that's back here like I was mentioning. Apparently Greg Norman actually designed this course, so that's pretty fantastic. I don't know a lot of details. I am going to try to do some more research to figure that out, but that's pretty fantastic to know that someone famous actually created what their design of a fantastic course would be for this property. Also over in that corner over there, you can see the golf house. I'm not sure if you can see it through the trees over there, but supposedly they have a sports bar as well that is accessible even if you're not playing around the golf. So heading up over into here, you can see is the spa. So you're gonna wanna make your reservations well in advance just to make sure that you get that. I'm not sure how fast they book up. There was definitely nothing by the time that we looked, but wasn't really our top priority for us personally. But with that is also included, they have their own separate pool and they have a few extra amenities that you only have access to if you actually book at the spa. All right, we made it over to the JW Marriott. That whole walk, we took our time and it only took maybe 5 minutes. I mean, we were casually walking over here. It's not a long distance whatsoever. And again, your access will be granted by staying at the Ritz. So let's check it out. Look at this flooring. That's really cool. I love the design. So again, there's a pool area as well as a whole little water park area. You can start to see the slides over here. We'll get a better look at that in a minute. But just a really cool way to be able to see both properties. So I've already shown you the cabanas over at the Ritz that you can rent. Here's a few more of these little cabana areas you can rent over here at the JW. You can go over here and see there's even little refrigerators, TVs, with that beautiful view of the pool itself with kind of private access. This is fantastic. Both of these properties are simply stunning. I love the grotto work they have. So we're heading over here. There's a different little pool over on this side. But again, we are in search for the Lazy River. So this is just a standard pool. You can see the water slide out in the back. All right, let's keep exploring. All right, so we found the water park area. So it looks like there's, I can't tell if that's 3 or 4 slides, but there's at least 3, if not 4. Right now, it does not look busy whatsoever. And then over here, I believe we actually, when we were looking originally, that was the Lazy River. And it's just kind of a large pool that with a pretty slow current. I'm gonna try to get a little look here. That just kind of takes you around. So we're gonna go try to figure that out. We'll let you know. This property is absolutely stunning. All right, we just went around the Lazy River. More on that in a little bit because I'm gonna actually take you guys around. But the pool is fantastic. It's actually just heated enough that it feels still refreshing, but warm and glorious while you're in there and not chilly whatsoever. And now we wanted to come grab a drink. So I actually grabbed the Cucumber Mint Refresher. This is a Kettle One Botanical Cucumber and Mint Vodka 3 citrus blend with Fever Tree Soda. I'm not actually even sure what that is, but it's so warm out right now that I wanted something a little bit light and refreshing. So here we go. You get a little bit of that mint, but not too overpowering. So definitely I would say less than a mojito with the aftertaste of that very fresh cucumber. So on a hot day, that is incredibly refreshing and quite dangerous because frankly, it doesn't even taste like there's alcohol in that. So that is fantastic. All right, so we are grabbing some lunch and we decided to go over to the Nice Burger. So we actually parked it really close to the actual restaurant itself. So you can go and sit by there, but this is their poolside bar and restaurant. So I got the Caesar salad and I have to say, even just look at this compared to me. I mean, this thing is huge. So these all look like homemade croissants. I had the dressing put on the side, but I mean, this is a very shareable size. And Bob ended up getting the ozerki, which is a double burger, red onion, and a white bun. He got that with French fries. So I'm stealing one of these fries because they look fantastic. We're gonna dive in right now. But I have to say, I'm thoroughly impressed, especially for a poolside location. This is a fantastic lunch. I'm sorry, I stand corrected. That's actually the double ozerki. So you can get just a single patty, and that's the ozerki. This is actually the double ozerki that he got. So you get double patty. All right, it is warm. We are gonna head back into the Lazy River. We already did it once. I wanna take you along with me because it's just a very unique experience here and something you don't see often in a hotel. So I don't know if you can appreciate this as much, but I feel like normally when you see a lazy river, normally there's like a pretty decent current that will take you along. That was the first thing that we noticed when we were going around the first time, was we had to actually do some work. So I would say maybe a lazy pool, not a lazy river, because we still had to do a little swimming. But the crowds today are absolutely perfect. And as I take you along, and the biggest thing that I want to really point out is just the grotto work and the way that as you go through the trees, it really does feel like you're kind of engulfed into this nature experience. I mean, looking at that, it almost canopies right over. This is absolutely stunning. I'm gonna flip over to Bob here. Bob, how, not doing anything, how long do you think it took us to go around? It's pretty slow.
15 minutes.
Yeah, about 15 minutes maybe?
Pretty much walking or paddling. It looks like they have the option to turn it on if it's just not on.
Yeah, there are definitely some jets that you see that are just not going currently. So I don't know if they're choosing to not turn that on today and making it more of an experience where you just kind of swim around it. But we'll take you around and keep going. But you can just see how absolutely beautiful this pool is. The temperature is absolutely perfect. I mean, I could not ask for a better temperature pool. It's warm while still being refreshing. We're coming up to some waterfalls. It's gonna get loud. As we come around this corner, you can see too that they have some lights that are gonna light up at night that are hidden in the trees. I'm not sure that we'll be able to make it in again during nighttime, but I just imagine that would be stunning. And again, looking at how canopied all of this is, you have some shade going in, so you're not directly in the sun the entire time. And it is just so picturesque and beautiful. And this grotto waterfall that you keep going past throughout this experience is so beautiful and mesmerizing. And as we come around this turn, you can start to see the little water park a little bit better from an underneath view. So it is just about 12:30 right now, and you can see the crowds are still incredible. I mean, these slides would be a walk-on. So just keep that in mind if you do come by. I mean, I know it's a Monday, but still, great opportunity to check out some of these slides. Ooh, someone just went by really fast right there. I myself suffer from pretty decent claustrophobia, so these slides are all enclosed. I will not be partaking, but they look super, super fun. I wish I was not that way. And flipping back around, the pools, or the lazy river, kind of dumps out into different more pool areas where you can kind of see that they get a little bit larger, kind of coming up ahead, where if you wanted to, you could just stop and swim around or continue down the lazy river path. We're about halfway done right now. So nice time to point out these poolside cabanas that you can rent. These are shaded. They're so cute. I love the flowers that they have around them too. I mean, that really just adds kind of a homey touch. And again, another pool bar. So here you can see it. Like I mentioned, it kind of dumps out into more of a pool. So doing a quick little 360 here. It's a more opened area. And as we came under that bridge, we came around to another pool area. Here's a really beautiful view of the JW. I just still can't believe that we're only like 15 minutes away from the parks and we feel like we're in a totally different universe. This is so pretty. I got a little deeper. So this, at most right here, is probably the deepest it gets. This is only 4 feet. I'm feeling it more because I am getting pulled up by this tube. but for the rest of it, it's anywhere between 3 and 3.5 feet, if not even less. So I want to come check out this little area right here. This looks to be a little splash pad area, but then when you actually look closer, it's almost like a little water obstacle course. So it looks like you have to be 48 inches tall to be able to participate on the course. They'll measure you there. Then you can go in and you can get your little, oh, they call it the aqua course. Here we go. So 48 inches, max weight of 300 pounds. You go ahead and get your harness on. Water shoes are bare feet, no flip-flops. That is really, really cool. So before we finish up over here at the JW Marriott, we figured that we would enter into the hotel. We can go in this way or wrap around, whichever way. I guess we'll keep going around this way. And we're gonna see if there is a hotel lobby bar that we can check out. But even just as I'm walking around here, I can already see that there appears to be some foosball and a couple of outdoor pool tables, so that's fantastic. Go check that out quickly. There we go. How fun is that? Got a couple of different outdoor activities heading into the pool area. One more thing I also found here, look at this little playground area. That is so cool. What a unique little structure. So there's like a little climbing area that's over there. There's some sand surrounding it, and it looks like there's slides on the other side with a little connecting bridge between. That is really neat. Now, actually, as I say this, I thought this was just a little garage, but this seems to be a whole little play area. Whoa, look at this little Scrabble. Is it magnet? Stop. That's so cool. Well, we got some Connect 4. What's going on over on this side? Place to wash your hands, keep the germs out. Oh, this appears to be a couple of big drawing tables. Let's take a look and see what we got. Whoa, look at these funky little chairs. Those are so cool. We came in almost towards, you see these are like little conference centers? So we kind of came in a back way. We didn't come in the main way. Look at those chandeliers though. Those are really neat too. Just gonna zoom down that way. Those are really cool. So I think there's just different conference centers all the way down here. Well, let's go ahead and head up the escalator and see what we find. All right. I think we're getting towards there. Now we're heading towards the hotel lobby. All right. So this is all pretty. Just taking in some of that. Boy, I feel like I'm in an amphitheater right here. That just got really echoey. So there's the Grab and Go Cafe Bodega. So there's a quick little grab and go here in that lobby. You can get some quick breakfast. Here's a little shop. This is some super cute stuff. Look at these little things. Got some authentic jewelry, some bathing suits and cover-ups. Super cute. I love that dress. And you got my staple over here, a Starbucks. It's actually really tempting to get that instead of another drink at the bar because I'm exhausted, but we're gonna push through. So I'm not even gonna lie, the structure and like the artistic nature in which these chairs and sitting areas in here have my heart. I love that. And for your sit down over here, you got the Whisper Creek Farm, the kitchen. It looks really nice. That's your sit down area. You can take a little peek into there. They start welcoming guests at 5 p.m. Oh, we finally made it over to the lobby. Look how beautiful that entrance is. My goodness, this fountain is stunning. So we're coming at it from behind, but obviously that's where you would check in initially. If you were walking through the front door, your check-in and concierge area is over there. And then we did seem to find the bar. However, regrettably, it does not appear to be open, but let's go take a look. Once again, with like the asymmetric structures, look at these chandeliers they have. These things are just so cool. I also really like these lights. We're gonna go down and check this out a little bit further, but this is really neat. So for reference, it's 2 o'clock. This is not currently open. So I'm not sure what time it opens, but unfortunately, a drink here is not in our cards. So we're probably gonna head back over to the Ritz now. Ooh, look at that lamp. And try to go find one over there. So here's the JW Marriott. The last thing that I wanted to show while we were here over at the JW is their Italian restaurant, Primo. So again, not open right now. They do accept reservations. We'll go ahead and take a quick look over at their menu. But the vibe in there looks absolutely adorable. It's really cute lighting. Definitely has that kind of authentic Italian atmosphere. Try to get a little quick glimpse inside there. That is super cute. So Bob just updated us. It actually opens up at 4 o'clock. So we did just miss it, unfortunately. But we will head back over. Like I mentioned, here's the little throughway. You do not actually have to go outside. You can use this little bridge between the two hotels to get back to the Ritz. So that's where we're headed right now. We just very awkwardly walked through a convention of some kind. So everybody was in like really, really fancy, business suits, handing out all their stuff and schmoozing with each other. And we just had to awkwardly, in our bathing suits, just kind of walk right past them. So that was super classy on our part. So, all right, well, we're gonna head back in. And as you can see, I'll try to flip around over here. So there's the connector and that walkway between the two hotels. All right, we are all showered and ready to go. We are heading over to dinner right now, and I'm so excited to take you guys along because we are headed to the Knife and Spoon, which is the Ritz Carlton's award-winning steakhouse that is right here on property. This is from executive chef John Tizar, who won his Michelin star in 2022. He is also known for his classically trained chef's approach to seafood and steakhouse cuisine. Over the years, he's cemented his reputation for reinventing the steakhouse dining experience. So there are 2 different types of fillets that we are so excited to try. So come along with us as we take you along. We're gonna sample some drinks, we're gonna sample multiple different types of food, and I cannot wait. Unfortunately, my microphone was very wonky as it was quite loud inside the restaurant, so bear with me as I take you through this amazing experience through voiceover. Now, as I previously mentioned, this is the signature steakhouse located on the Ritz Carlton property. One thing that I find very unique and very special about this location is that everything is locally sourced. So Bob and I both got filet. I'll get into that in a moment. However, they do make a very strong point to make sure that they let you know that all of not just their meat, but also all their fruits, vegetables, herbs are all sourced locally. And they make a point to really capture that beautiful connection they have in celebrating local extraordinary flavors. Starting with drinks, I got my personal favorite, which is a dirty martini with Tito's vodka, and I had that with blue cheese stuffed olives. And for Bob, he ordered the Legend, which is the Ritz-Carlton's version of the Old Fashioned. This is walnut fat washed Stag Junior, K&S private label bourbon, Amaretto Montenegro, pecan, orange, and it is smoked tableside. It comes in that classic 1 large ice cube presentation, which I think is the only way to make an old fashioned. And one other thing that's unique about it is the glass they give in has a beautiful curvature to it and these little kind of slits on the side that really hold in that smoky flavor. and was one of the best old fashions Bob's ever had. Now, one thing I do want to point out here, right after we received our drinks, we ended up getting a really special surprise. The waiter ended up bringing over a lobster cake since they saw that we were filming this video. It's just a little something extra to be able to showcase. This was incredibly tasty and had huge chunks of lobster claw in it, even for a smaller kind of amuse-bouche type size. It was then time to start preparing for our main course, so they ended up bringing over our steak knife. One thing that I will point out, all the small intricate details really do make or break a restaurant, and if you can notice here, they even have their own signature monogrammed steak knives, which I just find to be so classy and so beautiful, and I think that little extra touch really does go a long way. It was then time for dinner. For our main course, I got the 10-ounce regular filet, and Bob ended up getting the 10-ounce Australian Wagyu filet. Now, we both got those done medium rare, so you see that nice, beautiful pink center. In doing a little bit of research, the difference between the Australian Wagyu and the standard filet is that the Australian Wagyu is going to be a little bit more lean and have a more robust flavor to it. So depending on your flavor profile, you'll have to decide which of those two you personally would prefer. They also do mention right away, as everything is locally sourced and made to order, you are going to have a nice leisurely dinner, as when you order a steak, it will take about 25 to 30 minutes to prepare. Like I said, we both got them medium rare. The sear on the outside with just your basic salt, pepper, butter was absolutely perfect. That center was nice and pink while it had a just fall apart in your mouth taste. We also paired that with the a la carte mashed potatoes that had some chives on the top and were so smooth, creamy, and buttery and made a perfect side with this steak. The chef at the end of the meal also brought over 2 meringues that had a raspberry jelly on the inside, as well as these jellied candies that were orange with a little gold fleck of edible gold on top. They were absolutely delicious, very light, very fluffy, and the perfect way to be able to clean your palate at the end of your meal. Now, while this was one of the most delicious steakhouses that we've eaten at, it is going to be on the pricier side. If you're looking for something more of a quick bite, kind of quick service feel, you're going to want to check out the Highball and Harvest, also located right inside of the Ritz Carlton. This is going to be much more of your quick bite and your bar bite type of food, as well as their own signature cocktails, which of course we needed to sample. Bob ended up getting the Last Wish. This was their version of a old-fashioned that had the High West Campfire whiskey, a spiced cola syrup, tobacco bitters, and orange essence. So much more of a peaty flavor to it, but again, absolutely delicious and just another unique way to experience this hotel.
There it is, see? Ah, that's amazing! I really wish that I knew if that was Epcot or Magic Kingdom. But you 100% can see the Disney fireworks right here. I feel like it would be Epcot. Because looking at the other ones, those look like they're the ones that are around the World Showcase.
Oh, see it way off in the distance. You can see other ones. Those are probably Magic Kingdom.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. You can see both. Yeah. Oh, my God. How special is that?
All right, guys. So we are wrapping up the day here. It was the perfect day here at the Ritz Carlton in Orlando. Just to wrap up on dinner, because it was pretty loud in there and we didn't want to say too much while we were there, other than actually just quickly reviewing the food. But a few takeaways. One, just like I mentioned, it was pretty loud. So I think depending on your atmosphere, now we've gone over to STK at Disney Springs to try and have a nice steak dinner, and that was too loud, just painfully loud, that it was really hard to actually even have a conversation together. Bob and I had no problem chatting with each other, but would you say in general for like the price that you're spending, it might have been a little bit on the louder side?
I mean, it depends what you're looking for, I guess. If
yeah.
you're looking for a quiet, romantic-y thing, it's not necessarily going to get there.
Exactly. However,
just going for the atmosphere and the food.
Yes. And the actual atmosphere itself was beautiful. The restaurant was gorgeous. You have
3 different waiters that take care of you. At least, yes, they just like kept coming by, which was fantastic. Because one person,
service was amazing.
Service was great, and they love to talk with you. They love to give you your little tricks and tips. For example, on both of our fillets, we were like, oh my gosh, this is just so good. Like, what are your secrets? And they were talking about the way that the chef prepares it, which I'll let you go ahead and ask them yourself, so I won't give away their secrets. But they love to talk with you. They love to give their own little suggestions, tricks, tips. So it was overall, you know, just a wonderful and pleasant and really, really upscale environment. So a little bit on the louder side. Also, just a little tip that I'm gonna throw out there, and you 100% do whatever you would like or try whatever you would like. So like I mentioned, Bob got the Australian Wagyu filet. I got just the regular filet. And I have to say, because the price difference was $28? So it was like a $28 difference between the two. And honestly, I don't know that I thought that the taste was $28 better. So, I mean, if you're going to compare the two, I mean, I'm so happy we got both and we were able to try, and both were 11 out of 10 delicious. But we were both saying that if we came back and we wanted to have another filet, we probably would just both go for the regular one because the taste was still so fantastic on just the regular one. Save a few extra bucks. So that's just our kind of humble opinion. But that's going to do it for us today. It was an early morning getting here, so we are going to crash early. We are going to just enjoy some quiet time here on the balcony and then pass out so we can have day 2 here as we transition into the next, the next adventure here in Orlando. Good morning from the Ritz Carlton. So, as I mentioned yesterday, being Platinum Bonvoy members, they gave us little vouchers to go get a free drip coffee and a pastry of our choice. They actually, at first I thought they'd only done that for our first day, but we actually got 2 vouchers each, so we were able to just go down, go grab some more breakfast and go grab a coffee. And then when we stepped out on our balcony this morning, we were blown away to find this adorable little swing that's overlooking the lake. So we wanted to go check that out. I'm gonna go ahead and flip around and show you that. Look at how stunning this little view is. What a way to have breakfast and have your coffee. So just kind of overlooking this beautiful lake. Behind that right there is the golf course. As you can see, there's some people right on that hole right there. So we are just going to go ahead and take in this scene, relax, and have our morning coffee. What are you trying to tell us? This duck just came walking over. He's just staring right at us, making all the sounds. I'm just gonna take in the Grand Lake over here. So again, this is kind of right between the Greg Norman signature golf course that you're seeing over here and the Ritz Carlton and JW that are behind me. We had our coffee here this morning, as I was mentioning, and you can see so many different fish that were hopping out, birds that were flying around. So you have some largemouth bass, you have some bowfin, some Florida spotted gar, bluegill. They're found in most of the bodies of water in Florida here and a lot of the man-made ponds, but it was so neat to have our coffee and see that. So we made our way over to go check out the Ritz Carlton Golf Club. This is one of the most beautiful landscaped courses I have seen. Their pro shop was absolutely stunning. They do also have a pub on the inside. Looked absolutely beautiful. That was not open yet, as it is only 9 o'clock, but there were definitely already golfers coming out. But the course itself was lined beautifully with these gorgeous flowers. And in general, the whole atmosphere was just stunning. The pub was the Fairways pub, which I find adorable and very witty. All right, friends, it's just about that time. We actually were able to be fortunate enough to have a late checkout, so we were able to check out at 1 o'clock. After we had our breakfast, we walked around. We were able to just take in the sights a little bit more, and then we hung out by the pool, had some lunch over there, and now we're back packing, and unfortunately, we gotta get going. So thank you so much for following along. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little tour of the Ritz Carlton in Orlando Grande Lakes. Please make sure to like and subscribe to the rest of these videos, and hope you have a magical day.
like the most subtle art I've ever seen. Like nothing in that left one. Here's your little birds, and then just the one that made it over here.
Probably one long. That is one.